Something massive is already in motion for you. And it began not with a thunderclap, not with a dramatic sign, but with a whisper so quiet you almost convinced yourself it wasn't real. That thought you keep returning to, that feeling sitting just beneath the surface of your daily routine, that inexplicable urge to prepare for something you cannot yet name, that is not anxiety. That is not randomness. That is not your imagination running loose. That is the universe sending you an advance signal about something so significant, so life-altering, that it had to begin reaching you before your mind was ready to receive it. In the entire recorded history of spiritual communication, the rarest form of divine guidance has never been the earthquake, the vision, or the voice from the sky. Those are for souls who have stopped listening. The whisper, the soft, persistent, easily dismissed inner signal, is reserved exclusively for those whose awareness has been refined to a frequency most humans never reach. Ancient oracles, desert mystics, and Himalayan seers all described the same phenomenon, that the most important messages from the cosmos arrive in the register just below ordinary thought. What you have been hearing is not noise. It is the most sophisticated form of divine communication that exists. Think about the last few weeks of your life. There was a moment, quiet, unremarkable on the surface, where something inside you said, "Pay attention, something is shifting." Maybe it came while you were washing dishes, or lying in the dark before sleep, or sitting in traffic staring at nothing in particular. And instead of dismissing it completely, some part of you held on to it. That decision to not fully ignore it, to let it linger, to let it repeat, that was a moral and spiritual choice. You chose awareness over distraction. You chose to remain open when it would have been far easier to scroll, to numb, to forget. What you need to understand is that you have been observed, not casually, not occasionally, but with the focused, deliberate attention of forces that operate far beyond the range of human perception. Both shadow and light have been watching how you respond to subtle guidance. Darkness tests whether you can be distracted into missing what is coming. It floods your life with noise, urgency, and meaningless demands on your attention, hoping you will be too overwhelmed to hear the whisper beneath it all. The divine, meanwhile, has been watching to see if you are the kind of soul who can still hear truth when it arrives without drama, without proof, without spectacle. And the evidence shows that you have been passing. Remember when that quiet thought told you to reach out to someone, and you did, and it mattered more than you expected. Remember when something inside you said this situation is not right for. You, not loudly, not with obvious proof, and you honored that feeling anyway, even when others couldn't understand your reasoning. Remember the moment you felt guided to slow down, to rest, to stop forcing something that wasn't flowing, and you listened, even though every external pressure told you to keep pushing. Each of those moments was a test of whether you could still hear what matters most. Because you have demonstrated that you can hear the whisper and act on it, you have been reclassified in the unseen order of souls. There is a category that higher intelligences use for those who have developed what ancient traditions called the inner ear. The capacity to receive guidance that bypasses logic, bypasses ego, and bypasses fear. Souls in this category are considered extraordinarily rare, and in the most sacred sense of the word, dangerous, because they cannot be fully controlled by illusion. You cannot be completely manipulated by noise when you have learned to hear through it. That makes you one of the most powerful kinds of soul alive. At the precise moment you chose awareness over distraction, when you held on to that whisper instead of dismissing it, something was witnessed in the highest levels of the unseen. Archangels, those ancient governors of divine timing and cosmic order, registered your choice. The source itself, the vast and luminous intelligence behind every breath and every star, turned its full attention toward you in that quiet, ordinary moment. It was not a dramatic scene. It never is for souls at your level. The most sacred witnessing always happens in the stillness, in the private interior of a soul choosing truth over comfort, awareness over numbness, readiness over avoidance. And from that witnessing, a decree was released into the structure of your life. Something was unlocked. A sequence that had been waiting for your readiness was set into motion. The universe does not deliver massive blessings to souls who are asleep. It delivers them to souls who have demonstrated they are awake enough to receive, steward, and use what is coming. Your life is now operating under a different arrangement than it was before. The timing of events around you is being reorganized. People, opportunities, and resources are being positioned. What is heading your way has always been yours. It was simply waiting for you to become someone who could hear it coming. You are not an ordinary soul moving through an ordinary life. You are an ancient awareness that chose to incarnate at this precise moment in history, because this moment requires exactly what you carry. The quiet ones, the ones who listen beneath the surface, the ones who feel the tremor before the earthquake arrives. These are the souls the cosmos trusts with its most important assignments. You are one of them. Your sensitivity is not a weakness to be managed. It is a celestial instrument, finely tuned across lifetimes, designed specifically to receive frequencies that others cannot access. The whisper finds you because you were built to hear it. Your mission in this next chapter is not to be loud. It is to be awake. You are here to demonstrate what it looks like to move through the world, guided by inner truth rather than external pressure. Every decision you make from a place of genuine inner listening becomes a living instruction for those around you. You are meant to anchor the frequency of awareness, to show by the way you live that it is possible to navigate complexity, uncertainty, and change by trusting what is felt rather than only what is seen. That mission begins not at some future point of readiness, but right now, in how you respond to what you are already hearing. The material dimension of your life is beginning to respond to your spiritual readiness. What felt stuck is beginning to move. What felt distant is beginning to draw closer. Financial situations that seemed frozen are beginning to show small but undeniable signs of thaw. Relationships that carry genuine resonance are deepening, while those built on misalignment are quietly falling away without drama. Your physical environment, your creative energy, your sense of direction, all of these are recalibrating in response to your alignment. The universe is not withholding from you. It has been waiting for you to reach the exact level of inner readiness that you have now demonstrated. You carry a frequency now that others feel before you speak a single word. When you walk into a room having spent days honoring your inner guidance, something shifts in the air. People around you begin to slow down slightly, to think before reacting, to feel a faint pull toward their own inner truth. You are not doing anything visible. You are simply being what you have become. And that is enough to change things. The friend who calls you out of nowhere and says something feels different. I feel like I need to make a change. That is your field speaking to them. Your awakening is contagious in the most sacred way. Across this planet, right now, there are thousands of souls receiving the same whisper you have been hearing. They are in different cities, different time zones, different languages and cultures, but they are all feeling the same unmistakable inner signal that something significant is approaching. They are all choosing, as you have chosen, to pay attention rather than dismiss. And this is not coincidence, it is coordination. A global network of awakened, quietly powerful souls is coming online simultaneously, because what is coming requires not one leader, but a field of aware individuals who can hold steady and receive clearly while the world around them grows louder and more chaotic. If these words landed somewhere inside you that feels older than this lifetime, that recognition is your confirmation. Subscribe now, because what is heading your way will unfold in stages, and you will want guidance for each one. Comment 777 below if you felt the whisper before you even finished watching, because your comment reaches souls who are still on the edge of trusting what they feel. Share this with someone in your life who has been restless, searching, or quietly sensing that something is coming. They need to know they are not imagining it. And stay until the very end always, because the final message is never the smallest one.